Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Saluton, and very welcome to another episode of Chats with Nats. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Natalie. I'm a professional photographer based here in sunny Johannesburg, South Africa. And I'm late today, guys. I'm very, very sorry about that. So let's get this party started straight away. Today I am talking about my latest favorite camera, the X-T5, and I want to share with you all the reasons why I love it. If you've just popped in, then, maybe you want to stick around to find out why I think the X-T5 is an absolute gem and why you should have it, or maybe not. So I want to talk you through a quick overview of its general features and what's really great, what I absolutely love in this camera, and then look at why this might be the camera for you or maybe not. And then we'll have a quick look at what's up in the next show. It's a wonderful, wonderful camera, and it's not a secret that I got this camera late last year, and I've been absolutely loving it. I am very subjective about it. I want to give you, though, an overview, first and foremost, over all the different features, in case you don't know about the camera, or you want to get a bit more of a closer look. So this is by no means a review. It's not detailed. I've been shooting with this camera for about 2 months, so I haven't, tested all the features to the end. This is merely a quick look and an overview, and very subjective about my experiences so far that I have with this camera. The features that Fujifilm is very proud of and advertises that have been added new or improved over previous models are some of the following. So the most important ones I want to highlight are that it's got the new 40 megapixel sensor, which is, amazing, and, the biggest one in the APC cameras so far. It's got a new 5th generation processor, which is, much more powerful than the previous X-T4 and other models. It's got the I'm getting so excited I can't even say it. The 3-way tilt screen that I've been so waiting for. It's back in the X-T5. It took a bit of a break from previous models, namely the X-T4 and the XH2 and XH2S. But it's back in full force, and a lot of us are happy about that. It's lighter, a little bit lighter than previous models in the XT range. It's quite a bit lighter than the XH2 and the XH2S, almost about 100 grams. So that's, quite important when you come from the other camera releases from 2022. It's got IBIS, which is amazing, and it's claiming to give you 7 stops even. So that's a huge improvement over previous models. Another point is the 19 film simulations that it's taking on from the XH models, and is the first one in the XT range to have all the latest film simulations, which makes my heart obviously jump. It's now got auto white balance that is AI driven. So hello, new technology. It's finding its way into a couple of features in this new camera. It has an updated autofocus algorithm, so the autofocus is much improved, it's much snappier. It is also featuring subject tracking and detection of various kinds, from animals to motorbikes, cars, planes, birds. So there are a few additional ones which I think a lot of us are excited about, in addition to face detection only, of which previous cameras had for quite some time. It's much improved. and a little bit more about that just now. It also has an increased battery life. So it comes with the battery that is not new from the X-T4, and it's a much more powerful battery compared to the X-T3, for example, and it claims to be longer lasting than even the X-T4. So it's a much more economical camera, and it gives you 700 up to 700 shots, depending obviously how you're shooting and what you're doing. But it's a much increased battery life all around. It comes also with much improved video features, if this is your cup of tea. It's giving you 6K and 30p at 422 10-bit, which for all you video people out there is quite amazing. Super exciting. I myself have not shot a heck of a lot of video with it, and I will, dive into that in maybe an upcoming show, if this is what you would like me to do. So there's huge amounts of features in it, and there are a lot of them that I love. No secret about it. I do think it's an absolute gem, and I've really been enjoying my time with it. But before I go any further, just to get it off and out the way, there are a few things that I don't like so very much. And the one is it scratches really easily. I've got the silver one, and I've noticed that there are a few scratches already. So maybe that's, not making me so very happy, especially because I love so much how it looks in the silver one. I've had a black one before, the X-T3, and I didn't feel that it scratched so much. So maybe Fujifilm, can we, try and improve on that a little bit, as well as the fact that there is no battery charger that comes with it. It's not a deal breaker at all. It just would be nice to be able to have an external battery charger. When you get the camera in the box, it comes with a cable that you can plug into the mains, which maybe in many countries is not an issue at all. I personally am not so crazy about it, because in case you don't know, South Africa, when it comes to, main power out the plug from the wall, is not the greatest for many reasons. And, you want to have clean power with your camera and protect it. So I got myself an external battery charger. It didn't cost me an arm and a leg. It wasn't a big deal. But if you, want to get that camera, be prepared. And maybe in future, Fujifilm, if you're watching, maybe we could do something about that. But into the things that I really love. So there are a couple of points in yellow that I've already, kind of mentioned. I will go into these just now in a bit more detail. What I really do enjoy, what I've noticed straight away, though, is that the autofocus is significantly improved. I noticed that from, pretty much the first picture that I took. It's really snappy and responsive. It's really nice, the way it responds to you, and that is, a wonderful improvement. It's great. Also, with that, the face and subject detection. Face detection is something that's been with the cameras for quite some time. This now is much improved, and I'm very happy to, now go and use face detection much more. I haven't really been regularly using it, because I felt it's not been as reliable. I've been working with the X-T3 before. So now I'm quite happy to move on to this and use it much more regularly. And the subject detection is something new. I've been trying it out on dogs so far, and it's been really something, that you can use. It's not foolproof, but it's definitely a good function to have and to, use. It's also, can be improved. There are a lot of settings that are involved. This way exceeds, the time of this show. If you want me to talk about this in more depth, please drop me a comment. It is a great pleasure for me to, dive into this more in another episode, if you want me to do so. But there are a lot of settings that you can fine-tune it. So depending on your needs, And, I'm still in the process of looking into that. Also, the image quality in general, with a bigger sensor, a bigger image, you get more information in the image, which is really great. It's not something that I necessarily yearned for. The 26 megapixel in my X-T3 was sufficient for me, but I do notice more detail in that image, and it's obviously welcome. The battery life, I've noticed, also is great, and it definitely is improved, especially coming from the X-T3 and with a new battery. I only bought one SPI battery now, and it's so far been absolutely wonderful. It's performing really, really well. But diving into the things that I really love. The things that, I've been writing about also. I've got a couple of blog posts that I have written so far. I will share the links in the comments because I think it's really been a very important camera that has been released. A lot of people have been waiting for it, and maybe it even came unexpected. At the time that it was released, it did catch me a little bit by surprise. So I was even more excited that all of a sudden, oh my gosh, this camera that I wasn't even sure if it's going to come was here. So I'm super excited, to be in this place. And sometimes I'm still like, oh my gosh, it actually really happened. The look and feel, I'm a girl, I love it. Whoever, you are and what's important to you, that may not necessarily be such a big deal. But starting out with the color and the finish, I wrote about it a bit in detail, how difficult it was for me to make up my mind, because this camera is work and play all at the same time. A little bit more about that later as well. So yeah, I went with a silver one. I absolutely love the look. But in addition to that, it's not only, the visual, it's also how it feels. I love the grip. It's definitely much improved. It lies absolutely wonderful in your hands. Look, my hands aren't like dainty. They aren't small, but they aren't huge either. So depending on who you are, you may have a similar experience. For me, it's a perfect fit. I don't think it's too small. I don't think it's too heavy. I love that it's got a bit of weight to it. So I'm not one of those people who wants it lighter and lighter cameras. This, for me, is perfect. And the way the buttons feel and where they are and, the whole experience of shooting with this is just really, really good for me. And, if you have hands like these or something similar, you will have a similar experience. It has the dials. It gives you that retro feel. It is beautiful on the outside, but definitely also on the inside. The tilt screen. One of the big features, it was discussed in many, many reviews and forums, and has stopped me from upgrading to an X-T4. The X-T3 had the same screen, and I absolutely loved it. And it was so important for me because it actually is vital to the way I shoot. I not only shoot events where I shoot a lot of overhead, but also in other situations. I shoot low down, on the ground, and it really helps me to have that screen. This is a sample shot that I took recently, and it really makes a big difference to be able to be low on the ground. And if you're out and about, it sometimes is not possible or not handy to be lying on the floor. The screen helps me to be quick in changing my position and still to grab shots from different angles. So not having that in other camera models was really difficult for me. So I'm all the more excited, and that's one of the reasons why I upgraded to the X-T5, because the screen is an absolute must for me. Similarly, if you know me, film simulations are something that I take really seriously. I'm trying to really focus on photographs straight out of camera. I think that the power in these cameras lies a lot in this as well, and you get beautiful results, and I'm really focusing on that. So the fact that I have all the Fujifilm film simulations now in the camera was one of the reasons why I upgraded, in addition to, you know, all the fine-tuning settings that have been improved over previous models, from half stops in your highlights and shadows values to, you know, color chrome, etc., all the different settings that you now get, they're all in this camera, and that's been really important for me, because I, you know, focus on shooting in different film simulations, and I'm really trying to get good results straight out of camera, because I think it increases your experience, and it shows, you know, like in these photographs that are all straight out of camera with different film simulations, a lot of timeless negative here by Fuji X Weekly. If you know me, you can make the connection. And it's just a wonderful experience, and this camera helps me in, you know, improving on that. And it's an absolutely wonderful experience. So, are you in a similar position? Is this a camera that you should consider upgrading to? Well, this depends on where you are. Not everyone is in the same position as me. But if you are, if you are currently shooting on an X-T3 or an X-T30, for example, then that is an absolutely no-brainer, just like it was for me. You will absolutely love it, and, you know, you have the best at hand for you, and it will be a significant upgrade from where you are at the moment. Similarly, if you are looking for that retro experience, if you are shooting mostly stills photography and you want to experience film simulations, you are looking for a very high quality crop sensor in a beautiful camera, this is definitely something that you should look at, the X-T5. You know, best on the market in the APS-C sensor. Currently, it will not disappoint. So, who is it for? A beginner, an enthusiast, or a pro photographer? I throw that question at you as well. But I think if you are a beginner, it's definitely worth an investment. It is a camera that will grow with you. It's a camera that you can set up easily, and so that you can use it without having to worry about many settings, and you will grow into those, and you will learn more about photography and more about your camera settings as you go along. If you're an enthusiast and you want to, you know, have the best of the best, you want to maybe experience film simulations, maybe experience really fast autofocus, you want to do bird photography, animals, or maybe, you know, motorbike racing, whatever the case may be, it's powerful enough to, you know, make you very happy and give you very good results. So it's definitely for you as well. If you're a professional photographer, I'm a professional photographer and I use it. It's definitely a huge upgrade from the X-T3 that I've been shooting on. I have been shooting with it for 2 months. I have shot a couple of commissioned shoots. It's been wonderful to use. It's delivered beautiful results. So if you are a pro photographer who's looking for a photocentric camera, yes, absolutely, definitely, this is a camera for you. Like I said, I've been extremely excited about this camera, so I wrote a few blogs, and you are welcome to catch up with those. The links are in the comments. Anything from, you know, when the camera was first announced and I was very excited to hear about it, to, for sharing the first couple of images that I shot in a film simulation recipe, to the first couple of points and images that I wanted to share. Like today's show is kind of an extension on that third blog post. So if you want to read up more about it, see more pictures as proof why I think this camera is absolutely wonderful, then go and check those out. Like I said, the links are in the description. And if you have any questions regarding this camera or any other issues relating to Fujifilm, you are more than welcome to send me a question, hit me up in the comments, in the live shows, or also later offline. Get in touch with me. I'm only more than happy to answer all your questions you may have regarding this or other topics. In my next show, I'll be looking at a lens. I've asked myself, if I only had one lens I could shoot with, what would it be? Join me on Friday in my next show when I answer that question to myself and to you, and the reasons why. And also, we'll be sharing a few results from shooting with this lens as to why I think this is my one lens that I would be shooting with. Thank you so much for sticking around until now. If you like this content, if you enjoy my show, if you want to see more of it, you are invited to like and subscribe this content. And, you maybe want to share it with friends or others that may benefit from this content. And the more the merrier. I'd really appreciate it, and I would love to see you again very soon. I will be back here on Friday again at 9 o'clock. I will try to keep it at 9, so Eskom will, the South African power company that's given me a bit of a run around. But let's hope that we will see you in the future at 9 o'clock here. This Friday, definitely, I will be back at 9 o'clock, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Up until then, have a wonderful week and be good. Take lots of pictures, and I will see you then.